you can get like you can do like your finesse shots, your driven, your low driven ball stuff like that. You can do that in game. It's just different controls for such. Um, the one thing that kind of puts this to me puts this above FC, but puts in same lines as eFootball is the way that is player development. So this like eFootball is going to be a continuous game. And I need to reiterate that for people watching who may not have seen this yet. It's a continuous game, so it's not like it's not going to be UFL 25, UFL 26. It's just that UFL they'll make updates and big updates once a year, whatever like that. But they update as they go. The way you earn credit points, which is the CP on the top right. There you go. Um, that is kind of cool. As far as like being able to actually upgrade your team and buy players, league points if you want to get like different aesthetics and stuff like that. Um, but it's very much fun. Like you can, they are very open about points. And same way 2K is. So like your league points, you want to buy cosmetics and such, which are for whatever reason more expensive. Credit points, these are like to buy your players. These are cheap. I would rather have this the other way around, in a sense, because like it kind of, if you want people to play for credit points and to not have to buy teams, this makes it really easy to buy a team. I can see people dropping, what was it? So $40 each. I can see people dropping $160 just to have a billion credit points just to buy players. Like when you look at the transfer market, your best players, 181 mil, 176 mil, right? And this is just the attacking front. Like your top six players, this is, if you round it up, it's about 1.2 bill, and people will do that. Mut life, exactly. And I get it. Look, if you have the money, you want to do that, by all means. Hey, you do you, right? But if you're trying to do this thing where it's fair to play, I don't see where having the credit points cheaper than the customization points. That's what league points are. It's customization. You can buy your stadiums, buy your kits, buy your gloves, your boots, all that kind of stuff. And I like that. I like the customization part, and I appreciate the fact that you can do this. These should be flipped. People want to hate me for that. These should be flipped. If you're about this fair to play type, but you want to provide the option to for people to buy players. And look, you got to make money. I get it. I absolutely get it from a business standpoint. Like they got to make money. This is a free to outside early access. This is a free to play game. You have to make money, but not everyone wants to spend money like that, right? Um, like I would. This is the to me. This is the first thing wrong with this. This should be the to me. This should be the other way around. So this should be the other way around. So if you really want to buy your players, spend the money. Like $80 for 250 million credit points. I think that is in a way a bit more. It leans in a bit more fair to the whole idea of like being able to buy your players compared to paying more for aesthetics. I don't understand that part. Um, I guess I'm gonna use this for my video tomorrow. So anyway, being able to the good parts about this game. Let me start with this. The good parts about this game, you know, the free to play aspect. I love that because football is supposed to be very accessible. Football internationally is accessible, except in the U.S. where it's pay to play. But it's free to play as of December 5th, which is great. Early access $15. With the early access, you get like extra credit points, elite points, stuff like that. So you kind of get a little bit to it. Um, the customers, I like the idea of the FUT idea, but having it as a continuous title is nothing new, right? The card game idea as a continuous, nothing new. eFootball does that. With eFootball is the evolution of PES. Um, Not that people are fans of it, because I know a lot of people love PES 21 and Master League and such. But speaking to the card aspect of it, it is very in tune with what PES is, what eFootball is trying to do in that ongoing game, that continuous game, all that kind of stuff. So you can build your team the way that your players after every game get experience points and they level up their stats and everything. I really like that because I'm trying to build up this Karamoko card because card is gonna be a little. Card is gonna be to me the card's kind of a sleeper. Oh yes. Oh, he has skill points. The fact you can upgrade skill points as you go, like after every 5 levels, they get a skill point, and you can upgrade them. I really like that. I like that. If you have a card you really want to develop, it creates a scene where you can develop players, and I actually really appreciate that because that's something I really love when building a team. It's the idea of player development and not just buying every freaking thing. You know, like I don't know, like can I spend the money to buy players? Yes, I can. Do I want to? No. Like I shouldn't have to do that, right? Um, I would love the skill points instead of just for the deep for the feints and everything to be more ability related or skill attribute related. I think that would kind of definitely help. Okay. Improve set piece. I'm not really using a set piece. I do have him coming off the bench. That would help a little bit, but one touch shots, first time is legit. So I do like that. So there is that aspect of it, right? We can build teams and all that kind of stuff. eFootball has that kind of down. The idea of the skins and using the skins as chemistry, I think, is a very unique way. That's kind of new. Um, and it's very relatable to what we see in Madden Ultimate, to what we've seen in Madden Ultimate Team, FIFA Ultimate Team, where it's like, oh, the special edition cards, like the road to the knockouts for the UCL, right? Or like in FIFA, like the most feared or whatever the case may be, right? So you have different skins. So the confetti series, so like and if you have X amount of players that have it, they'll have extra attributes, right? And you can buy skins and it's cheap. You can earn them as you go, whatever the case may be. But it's a little bit of a boost, not super heavy, right? But it's not like having that card, so to say, right? These help a little bit, but it doesn't make you OP, and I think that part's kind of fair. Um, Having actual FIFA players, I think, is one of the bigger moves because people in general do relate to the players, especially if you're not that involved in a sport like that. People do, I mean, everyone's going to relate to these two guys, right? I mean, a lot more in the scene with Holland, Vinicius Jr., Bellingham's obviously in his bag right now. Harry Kane, Mo Salah, Mbappe. People know these guys, so I think that definitely helps. The fact that they're the most expensive players is not surprising. Um, you know, with that said, also having the RP cap. So you see two numbers: credit points is how much they cost. RPs, your rating points. So I couldn't buy these players off the bat right now, right? I have to have my rating cap high enough to buy these players, which kind of balances out buying in a way tries to balance out buying that best team. So the best player I could buy right now would be Bono, Bruno Grimash, Yota, Donnarumma. I could I could definitely get a goalkeeper. Actually, get a solid goalkeeper if I wanted to. Got to pay a bit more, but yeah. So I think that's kind of cool. Great breakdown. Support the. Yo, Sid, thank you so much. Wow, did not expect that. So yeah, so having that's kind of cool. I kind of appreciate that. So you're not going to be. It's like the thing with FUT, right? Let's have. I'm really kind of actually really floored with the super. So appreciate that, Sid. Uh, but it's not like FUT. We have someone, buying the best player, doing a coin trading, which we know everyone does, and EA says don't do it, but they'll do nothing about it because they're in on it too, which is the craziest part of this, right? Or they're probably in on it too because they tell you not to, and don't get yourself involved with coin trading. We can suspend accounts, yada yada. They don't freaking do that anyways because if you look at all the streamers, they have the big cards off the bat, and it's not pack luck. I'll tell you that right now, right? So I like the idea of the RP cap. I think that's definitely a good balance to not be able to OP a team. That kind of leans to the fairness. And so a lot of stuff on the outside, really, to me, kind of work, right? Customizing your own club. I don't want to change the name. And it's not gonna let me change the name, which kind of sucks. Customizing your own club. Choosing different uniforms, having like all these not generic, but like different kind of badges and different kind of kits and everything. Like I spent the money to kind of get the kits because I wanted to customize it a bit. Obviously, it's gonna be city blue, and the one thing with where I live, like the lion is kind of like the logo for the city I live in. So all kind of in a weird way kind of worked out. I bought stadium and such. Cosmetics and cosmetics are fine. They don't do anything. Like Fortnite does this all the freaking time. They sell skins no for effing tomorrow, and that's like their business model, right? So that part's cool. not having not being able to immediately OP a team like that off the bat, I think is really good. The fact that you have to play your way to really build a team. The roadmap they have, I think is going to be good. As far as like get to a certain level, you qualify for like pro tournaments and stuff like that. I think that's going to be really cool, and people are going to really go after that. And the idea of building your club and building towards that, I think, is awesome, and it kind of gives you something to grind for in that respect. Gameplay wise, on the pitch, presentation is cool. It reminds me a lot of like a FIFA 24. So it's nothing like groundbreaking. It's not bad, but it's not groundbreaking. But it's cool. Like it looks good. Player models look good. All that kind of such. You can see details in the fabric, which now is apparently the thing. I don't think this is on UE5. I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong on that. That's fine. Um, but in game, actually playing the game, through balls don't through ball the way they do. Like to me, with how this game plays, FIFA FC is is a better playing game on the pitch right now. Sellies, I'm trying to figure out Sellies. So you have 4 Sellies, and I think they're adding them as they go. Like the one I had when you score, a guy goes into net, and then your teammate fishes you out. I think that's kind of cool. There's a front flip one that has like the only camera angle, which is kind of cool. But the Sellies are kind of cool. But yeah, so Sally's a cool. That part's kind of cool gameplay wise. I mean, it's nothing insane. I would like to see a bit more. They do kind of lean to the older FIFA titles of like getting into the camera lens, and getting into your opponent's face when you score. And actually, I like that in a sense because you don't really mic in this game, so that's like your way of shit talking. I feel. Um, but in game, like through balls don't through ball the way I would personally like them to. The passing decisions are very. I want to pass if I want to pass out to the wing, it ends up going to like the midfield. It goes to the nearest target instead of like a direction. I'd rather have more directional passing rather than like uh, the computer making decisions for where the ball goes. That's my opinion. Shooting's fine. I think you mentioned goalkeeping looked good. Goalkeeping for me leaves a lot to be desired. There's a lot of shots that should be saved by quote unquote pro goalkeepers that are not saved in this game. There was one I tried crossing a ball into the box, and the ball got towards the post. And as someone who played goalkeeper, like if a ball goes near you, you need to go get it, especially if it's to the near post. And the goalkeeper just kind of stood there, and the ball went in near post. Long story short, and ended up being a goal. So that was kind of a thing. Through balls. If I want to play a short through ball just to my mid to kind of set up an attack, or to my winger, I don't need a through ball going all the way to my number 9 striker. I don't really need that. That kind of just kills everything. Attacking AI leaves a little bit to be desired. Players don't really make runs the way they should. They kind of just wait and wait and wait. I know they're not trying to be offsides and stuff like that, but they kind of just really wait more than they should, which kind of, you're kind of waiting for them to make some kind of run, either to get past an attacker or to kind of get a guy off or just create space. They don't really do that in that regard. Defensive AI, the back line gives up too much space to oncoming attackers. Even if you put the the defending options on pretty much pressure and aggressive, they just give up way too much space for me. And that's really weird. Goalkeeping, goalkeepers make some saves they have no business making, and they allow goals they have no business allowing. And so the goalkeeping's really hit or miss. So there's that. But I think once you figure out how to game it, it's actually not bad. There is a good direction for this game. With all that said, there's a very good direction for this game. And again, it's a free to play. It just came out last week in early access. It's gonna fully come out Thursday on December 5th, free, right? The best part about tonight, there were more players. Like I did not catch any bots, which is great. Your first match will be against a bot, and a lot of us just get a feel for the game, which is fine. Your very first match, you have no one. You're playing with like a 60, if that, overall team. Cool. Like, get a feel for the game. Get your players, do what you gotta do. But this game leaves a little bit to be desired, and I kind of hope that in time they will address a couple things, especially gameplay mechanics, just to kind of smooth it out a little bit. When you play FIFA, I know it's fast and you try to make it arcadey, but FIFA does feel a lot smoother than this. eFootball feels insanely smoother than this. And I know there's a huge base for that game too, and I play that game as well. not having, with that said, as well, not having, this game only has 5 actual teams. Seven. Gonna be seven when they, gonna be seven to eight. Gonna be seven. When West Ham finally, when they finally put West Ham in, when they finally get the full everything for Leverkusen, as Donetsk, it has. Let me pull it up. If you pull up the actual clubs, so you have Monaco, Porto, Eindhoven, Besiktas, Shakhtar, and then you have all like their created shit, right? Which is way more. West Ham's supposed to be in this game. Leverkusen, they have the kit and the badge, but they don't have the stadium yet, so they're not fully in this game yet. I hope they add. I think that's where the opportunity is going to be for this, where if a league doesn't want to be part of EA anymore, they can come to this and they can bring their identities and their identities and their imageries and stuff to this game. I think that's going to be that's going to be a big, yeah, that's going to be a big plus for this game. So that'd be kind of cool. Surprised they didn't go after some of the other leagues that are not as represented in FC or eFootball. That to me is a big miss, but I feel like they can do it in time. With that said, they have the money from the Ronaldo investment, so they need to do something more with that. They got 40 mil from the Ronaldo investment. I don't feel this is like a 40 mil game. And you can say what you want about FC, but with FC, you're getting single player, you're getting a career, you're getting a lot of major leagues around the world, from the Premier League all the way down to even MLS. You're getting a lot of those leagues. You're getting the Saudi League, you're getting the A-League. You're not getting that here. The one thing I think that I hope that they realize in time is that in this sport specifically, people connect to clubs, right? Especially football supporters. They connect to clubs. Like obviously me as New York City FC, and Newcastle United, people connect with clubs. And if I'm playing a football soccer game for the first time, I want to know I can play with the club that I know, right? And so if I want to use like Monaco's uniforms for that matter, cool. Like I'm not saying you have to have the whole roster, but like that, I mean they have that in the game anyways. But I want to be able to play with their imagery. I want to play with Monaco's kits. I want to play with, and I shouldn't have to pay out the ass for it. Like the kits, some of the pricing makes no sense. First off, I really want this Argentina looking ass kit, but I'm not trying to spend 63 mil credit points. That's absurd to me. First off, like just have these all league points. Let people buy these. Like I'm trying to use credit points on players. I'm not trying to use credit points on kits and accessories. Like why are these league points but these are credit points? That doesn't make any sense, right? Maybe it's Adidas thing. Maybe it's the Adidas thing. I don't know, but this is also Adidas, so it's not the Adidas thing, right? But look, having, Limassol, I've never heard of this club. Having Limassol in it, right? Monaco's kits are here, right? But these are like 1670 credit points. 1670 league points, I'm saying. That's almost $20. Like these kits like $20 each. Right? Ain't cheap to fly. Seems like indie games take the maximum route with a lot of customization options. And there's nothing wrong with the customization options, honestly. Like, again, that's where your money is going to come from. I fully get that, right? And I'm cool with that. But have more. What I'm trying to say is, especially when you've been 8 years in development, like they started developing this game in 2016. You got to have more. You should be able to kind of partner with leagues. I mean, shit, get the smaller leagues. The ones this is a great opportunity for smaller leagues, the leagues in South America, USL, right? The Canadian Premiership, right? The Philippines League, the PFL, right? And other leagues like that, the Chinese Super League. Let them use this to get their shine, if possible. Right, and I understand partnerships take time and all that kind of stuff, but that would be a big thing. Players connect to clubs. Like I made obviously kind of put these uniforms together and all that kind of such, but I mean, like it's not really a thing. It's not like it's whatever. I have more options, and I'm sure they will in time. Look, this game again. The game just came out Wednesday. It just came out Wednesday. Friday maybe. I think maybe Friday, Wednesday, Friday, right around Thanksgiving. Right? It just came out. Like I'm not gonna say like this is a complete bust. I have a lot of high hopes for this game. This game has a lot of there's a lot of promise. I think again, if they clean up the gameplay a little bit, kind of smoothing out the gameplay just a little bit, I think you have something. I like the fact it is a good. I like the fact it's a good. It feels a good in between. It feels like a good in between FC and eFootball. It is like right in the middle of it, in my opinion. Um, but it needs work. It needs tweaking. It needs work, and that's gonna happen in time. Whether or not that's gonna happen, we'll see. They have the money, so we'll see what happens with it. Um, but that's just my thoughts on it as someone who, as a consumer, I'm not a big time streamer. They didn't send me this. I'm not like a UFL content creator and stuff like that, right? I'm just a dude that sucks at this game right now. But but that's my view on it. I mean, I've played FIFA for years. I've tried to play competitive FIFA for years. I hopped into FC a couple years ago. Really liked it, and seeing the difference between the two. This feels like right in between the two. But if a game that wants to be better than FC, wants to be its own thing, I think it's in the right direction. It just needs to fine tune a lot of stuff, especially in the gameplay. Mostly in the gameplay. I think, but we'll see what happens in time. I mean, but also if I can change my team name, that'd be fantastic, guys. Like, kind of want to do that. Kind of need to be able to do that. List of my opponents. Is it? Oh, all people I met. Okay. And then I don't need to look at half this shit. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's my 2 cents. We're gonna call this a stream. 'Cause I gotta go, and I have to put this all together. So, to all you guys came by today, thank you so much, yo Sid. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. You were my first super chat. I think no my second super chat. So thank you so much for that. Really appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think about UFL in the comments below. And as always, guys, if you like what you see, hit like and subscribe. Click the bell to stay notified. Thank y'all so much. We will be back. We'll probably be back middle of the week because I am on assignment the next 2 nights. So hopefully by Wednesday we'll be back with this. I'm definitely gonna have to play with this a lot more off stream and such. But yeah. So all right, guys. I'll catch you guys later. As always, take care of one another. I'll catch you guys soon.